Hey there, beautiful people! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Winna, for those of you that are new on here, and you are most definitely welcome. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, all those things we do on here on YouTube, just do it, okay? So as you already see from today's title, I'm going to be talking about the things that I was like, these things exist. In the UK when I visited in May. My main reason for going to the UK, London to be specific, I only stayed in London. That was the only city I explored for that 1 week. The main reason I went to the UK was actually to get my BRP. So some things were really shocking to me because these are things you would not normally see or experience in Nigeria. I know I've only been there for 1 week, and maybe you might say that, how do I notice this in a week? I'm quite an observant person. Whenever I go to a new place, a city, or I'm in a new environment, I can't help but just notice things because I'm very observant, okay? So let's go. I visited the UK in May, and that was what season was it? It was around spring. They were in the spring season, so they were just coming off of winter. It wasn't that cold and it wasn't that hot, but there was a bit of coldness for me. It was like bringing your air conditioner from your sitting room and placing it outside. Like, that was how I felt. It was a bit chilly. Yeah, that's the word. Let me start speaking like these UK people. It was a bit chilly. But anyways, the weather was just really chilly on the skin. And yes, that was one thing I experienced. I've been used to just this rainy and sunny season all through my life. So it was quite a unique experience, experiencing another kind of weather. Then with regards to the weather, another unique thing was, that I experienced around 9 p.m. It was still so bright outside, like I could not comprehend. I thought it was like 3 p.m. and it was already 9 p.m. Like, how can it be so bright outside and it's 9 p.m.? Sometimes I feel like the weather can confuse you if you're not used to it. You think you have time, but you really don't, because the weather is just deceitful. So it was a shocker for me, to see it so bright at 9 p.m. and then it gets dark, and then as early as 5 a.m. it's already bright. Like, how many hours of sleep do I have? It makes you even wake up early. That's why sometimes it's good to just have like dark curtains to close your windows. So yeah, the next culture shock for me is the fact that you can actually drink tap water. In Nigeria we either get what's called pure water or bottled water, but over there you can just drink tap water because it's actually clean. You have no fear of going to have cholera or whatever it is, whatever waterborne disease. Unlike Nigeria, where we don't really have a unified water management system. So it was quite unique to see, because I can't remember when last I had tap water. I always just have bottled water or pure water. So that was an interesting thing to take note of. Another thing I could not help but notice is how nice British people can be. Like when you go into, or when you come across them or tend to have a conversation with them, they're always like, oh dear, my darling, my love. They speak with nice, endearing words. Unlike Nigeria, where you can't just meet a stranger and just be calling the person, oh, my dear, my darling. Like, who is your dear? Who is your dear? Your dear is like Bobrisky would say. Your dear is a Yaba receiving treatment. Like, Nigeria Nigeria, we take things so seriously. You know, there was a time I even got something on Instagram and the vendor was calling me dear. So I felt like it's supposed to be a professional thing, like, who is your dear? So like, Nigerians were not so emotional in quotes. So it was quite strange for me, you know, even at the airport, he was like, oh, that's lovely, my darling. I was just looking at the woman like, you don't even know me from Adam, but I'm your darling already. So it was actually quite interesting to experience that. UK houses are small, or London houses. Okay, let me not say UK houses. London houses are really small, like really small. You know, coming from a country where, like, currently I live in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment. My living room is this big, my bedroom is this big, the dining is this big, the kitchen is this big. But in London, unless you have the money, you're the child of a rich man, you know, houses there are pretty expensive. You know, you just get a little box-sized room and you'll be paying about £700 a month. Do you know what £700 is? So it was a culture shock for me as well. Like, houses are really, really small. Maybe unless you want to go to the, you know, maybe provincial areas or what they call the countryside, maybe houses there are quite cheaper and bigger. But London houses are definitely small, you know, definitely small. Another thing that was a shock for me, okay, not really a shock, is you know, people driving on the flip side of the road. So unlike Nigeria, where we drive on the right hand side, in the UK they drive on the left. So for that 1 week I was there, I could not, because I actually drive here in Nigeria, so I couldn't really place my mind on driving on the left side. So even if I'm in an Uber and the driver is driving, I just try to, like, okay, how do I drive? Like, my brain is trying to drive with the driver, but I can't quite figure it out. Do you understand? So it was quite confusing for me, you know, them going on the roundabouts and turning this way, when in Nigeria we turn this way. It was quite confusing. And another beautiful thing I love is how the driving system works. People stick to the rules. Driving in Nigeria is so frustrating. Like, there's no day I drive that I don't almost literally get mad. Like, it's either somebody is overtaking from the wrong lane, or someone hits you, or someone is just driving recklessly. Like, frustration is unending. But in UK, everything works. Everybody knows when to overtake, you know when to park, you know when to slow down, you follow speed limits. Everything there just works. Like, it made driving really interesting for me. Honestly, when I relocate there, I'm definitely going to drive, because I think I will enjoy driving there. Another culture shock for me is how simple and humble British people can be. You know, a vivid example is literally seeing their politicians, or in quote, people you would call the rich, the high and mighty in society, taking trains, taking public transport with you, a normal, in quote, civilian. That doesn't happen in Nigeria. If our politicians have not carried Mano here, Mopo here, Hami here, police on the other side, they don't go anywhere, and all the civilians have to stand still because the almighty politician is passing by. But these people are like so simple. You know, you even see the rich people and they look like normal people. You know, in quote, I was opportune, like, I and my husband like went around a neighborhood where, in quote, the rich people stay, and it was just wonderful to just see that they have a simple life, you know, like, they make you understand that life is not that serious. Like, you don't have to take life that serious. Okay, imagine the other day I was going to the airport and everybody had to stand still. They blocked the road, so many were pulled. I'm sure some people even missed their flights. We waited there for like 30 minutes just because our president was passing. Like, I don't understand. So people should miss their flight because you're the president. I really don't get it. But these people just, you know, take life easy. you know, and it's really a good thing, you know, that I noticed, and I think it's something that I would love if it's inculcated into a lot of us, you know, where life is not that serious, just be humble. Okay, next is how I saw that London was a mixture of actually different culture, different ethnicity, different religion. You know, I think maybe unlike other parts of UK, I've actually not explored other parts of UK, but you could see this diversity in London. You could see Chinese or people of Asian origin. You see lots of African. You even see your own fellow Nigerian, you know. But although many people mind their business, it doesn't mean that you'll be like, Nigeria, what's up? Everybody minds their business. But you could obviously see that this city is a mixture of ethnicity. You know, unlike when I was in the Philippines, you just see that, oh, it's like this city or this country is for Filipinos. But in London, sometimes you might not really feel that you're out of your country. Yes, you're out of your country, but if you want to have the feel of your country, you will most likely find it in London. Do you understand? In London or in the UK, I saw a lot of, in quote, old people. You know, you could literally see someone, you could say, oh, it's 80, 90 years. I think with the way their system was built, they actually have more life expectancy. Unlike Nigeria, where everything stresses you, the whole system frustrates you, many things don't work. You know, in Nigeria, when you're 50, 60, you're already considered old and frail because, you know, you're having health issues, you're being stressed at work, like so many different things. But because the system over there works, you know, I saw a lot of old people. In fact, over there, I'm sure they don't consider age 60 as old. They might take offense for you calling them old, but in Nigeria is a thing. You know, you even rarely see old people around, in quote, in Nigeria, but over there I saw quite an amount of old people, and it was a good thing to see, you know, making you know that the community or the population as a mixture of different age ranges. It was a beautiful thing to behold. Another culture shock for me is how smoking is like a normal thing. Do you understand? Like, the huffing and the puffing is like on another level. You know, like, people smoke a lot. Like, when I went to London, it almost reminded me a bit of Philippines, because even in Philippines they smoke a lot. It's a culture shock because you don't really find people smoking in Nigeria. If you do, you probably see them in the clubs or in the pubs, but like smoking daylight in public is not a thing. But in London, it's a thing. Like, people smoke like they breathe, you know, and I'm not really a fan of smoking. It's not, one thing that really saddens me about smoking is that even us that don't smoke, we are at risk because there's something called secondary smoking. So even for people that smoke, you inhale what they smoke and you put you at risk of different things. Yes, there are smoking zones or smoking areas and all that, but the smoking lifestyle is just really rampant. The next thing for me that I saw is how efficient the London train and bus system is. Like, oh my god, like, it is so efficient. You know, initially, because I went to London with my husband, right, but he wanted me to get used to the system. So initially, learning how to read the tube maps, learning where each line goes when you get to a station, knowing how to go to the terminal that you will see the train. I understood how to navigate through with the help of my husband. But it is so efficient. Like, geez, if the sign is telling you so train on the central line, Baker Street is going to so place, and that train will arrive in 2 minutes, my sister, 2 minutes on the dot, that train is there. Or this bus is 12 minutes away, 12 minutes, that bus is there. Like, the system works. It really works. Not Nigeria, where they, in fact, it's just a whole mess. It's a mess. Like, you can really plan your trip, because when it tells you that this station will open so and so, it's what it is. If they are going to close that station, they inform you 24 hours, 48 hours before the time. Unlike Nigeria, where mostly or most times things are just done haphazardly, you know, it's your business. If you come, we have postponed the trip to 2 hours, you have to wait. They don't care which business engagement you have. It was just beautiful to see how the system works. And for London, the train and the buses are actually the main means of transport, you know, and it's quite cheaper than taking the Uber, of course. Uber, your money will speak for you. Bolt, your money will speak for you, okay? It was amazing how efficient this system was, because even if you don't have a car, you're not missing out on anything, okay? It was just amazing to see a system that works. I was wowed. I was really wowed. Another interesting thing for me I experienced and noticed was the British accent, yeah? So, you know, we watched these things in the movies, but actually, you know, getting to experience it physically, it was interesting. I would just be in a train and literally be like this, watching them speak, because I find it interesting and intriguing. Like, oh yeah, mate, this mate. I'm like, oh shit. I really love how they speak, and trust me, when I finally relocate there and I can speak like them, it's over for you all. It's over for you all, because I will not stop talking. I will not stop talking. I really love their accent, and the beautiful thing is that I even heard that in different parts of the UK, the accents are actually quite different. Like that of Northern Ireland is different from that of Glasgow. So it's quite interesting. It would be nice to, you know, learn about the culture, but I really love how their accent sounds. You know, never go there, never go to London or UK and be calling people older than you sir or ma. Actually kind of found it a bit difficult and weirdish. You know, coming from a country where you have to bow down, you have to kneel, you have to, good afternoon man, good afternoon sir, thank you sir, karo sir, karo ma, mango sir, mango ma. You know, where you prostrate and do all those other things. You know, they're quite a simple people. They don't take it as disrespect when you call them by their first name. Even if the man is 80 years old and his name is John, they're like, oh, hello John. They would prefer that to be calling them sir. They will even feel weird and feel somehow, you know, who is your sir? Not literally that, but you know, it was something I had to get used to, even within that 1 week. You know, when I go and purchase something, I want to be like, thank you ma, thank you sir. It's not necessary, so you just have to be like, oh, thank you so much. You don't have to put ma, sir. The next culture shock for me is how food tastes in the UK. Yes, I know that you can actually go to any shop that sells you country food, but for the UK restaurants and fast food themselves, most of their food actually tastes bland. I really didn't enjoy most of their food, and I also noticed that most of their foods contain more of protein. So you're seeing chicken, beef, pork, and all those things, and maybe a side of potatoes, vegetables, and all that. Unlike Nigeria, where our food is like carbohydrates everywhere. So your food is not really, I don't know, tasty. For me, personal opinion, it's more like flat, you know, and most of their foods were like bready, or Greg's bready, McDonald's bready. Things made with flour are like a lot, you know. Unlike Nigeria, we like food, not snacks that looks like food, you know. And then at some point I tried to make stew, and the stew wasn't stewing. The stew wasn't stewing. Their chicken tastes different. Their spices, their seasoning cubes taste is different. It is something that I noticed. So when I'm going to carry some of my Nigerian spices and stuff to like get used to the taste of things. But I really noticed that most of their food, it didn't date. Most of their food didn't date for me, but yeah, we'll see. Another thing that was a shock for me is that in UK, in London, you literally almost pay for everything. When I mean everything, you pay for everything. You pay. Instances, I went to Tesco with my husband, so we did not carry any grocery bag or anything. The nylon bag that you use to carry your juice, your chicken, everything you bought from Tesco, you literally pay for it. I think it was like 20p. You pay for everything. You know, I went to Primark, I bought a belt, I wanted to put hole on it. I went to the counter, like, those people have the machine to put hole on this belt. They didn't have, so we had to go to a store, and you pay to do that. You literally pay. When I was in Philippines, these things were free. You know, even in Nigeria, you can get it done for free at the same shop that you got that item. But almost nothing is free in UK. Everything you pay. Packing tickets, you pay. You pay. You shall be billed. You shall be billed. And do not try to be converting what you're spending on in London to Naira, because you're going to cry hot tears. You're going to cry tears. Like, you'll just be seeing bills like this. Yes, sorry that I'm talking like this. It was not my money that was spent, it was that of my husband, but I could feel it as though I was the one spending it, because you will just be spending everything you spend. 20p, £1, £2, you just be tapping, just be tapping and going. But there's nothing free in UK, really. There's nothing free. Even in Freetown, there's nothing free in the UK. And it was just shocking, especially that nylon bag home, because when we go to ShopRite, we'll be telling them to double the bag. We'll go market. Madam, this nylon, give me one extra nylon there. In UK, it's not like that, so you'll just be paying. So that's why most people tend to buy like grocery bags that they reuse. And I know that one of the reasons they do this is this global warming, protect the earth, yada yada yada, all those things. And it's quite okay, it's quite good. And yeah, another culture shock for me is PDA. PDA, it means public display of affection. That's not something that is common in Nigeria. Yes, hi, my husband, we do PDA once, but you know, there are sometimes you will still do it, let people not notice you, but these people, they don't care. They don't care. You know, like one of my trips on the train, like as tight as this train was, two people were gumming body and kissing and whatnot, and everybody was literally minding their business. You mind your business. It did not concern you. It's not your business. So it was so shocking to see that, you know, people can express in quotes their love in public and nobody cares. It feels like a normal thing. Not in Nigeria. People don't even tell their parents that they have boyfriends. Not to talk of being caught outside with your boyfriend. Your church member will report it to your mother. Honestly, it was interesting to see. It was actually quite interesting to see. You know, even Africans, white people, kissing, hugging, whatever. It's nobody's business. Nobody pays attention to you. They pay attention to the business that pays them. And yeah, another interesting culture shock was that most restaurants, most events you want to go for, you definitely have to make a reservation. Whether the restaurant is filled up or not is not your business, but sometimes the only places that might not need reservations are like pubs or clubs. I don't know, I really don't know, but I know that when we went to the Shard, which is the tallest building in London, we had to book. When we went to a restaurant to eat, I think, what's the name of the restaurant? Goodman or so, we had to book a reservation I and my husband, we went to Put Shark, which was like a game and a restaurant place like that. We had to book reservation. So you always have to book a reservation most times to go somewhere. And sometimes if you don't cancel, if you don't call them that you will not make it, you might be charged, because you're definitely taking someone else's time in quote, or a slot that someone else would have used. You know, they're losing customers, and in London they are making money. Nobody came to smile with you. So yeah, it was an interesting thing to see. Unlike here in Nigeria, you can turn up in any restaurants at any time. Nobody sent you. Just come and chat, come and eat and all that. But in UK, it was nice to see that things are actually done a bit orderly. So you have to book things before you go there. Okay? Another culture shock for me is the dressing. The dressing. Like, I was so amazed to see that, you know, like I said, I went during spring, so there was a certain day or 2 days where it was really sunny and really hot. My brothers and my sisters, you have to avoid the streets on those days, because you see girls with, you know, like almost nearly naked. Sorry to say, almost nearly naked. It's more like a sore sight to see. I don't know. I'm not judging anybody, but you know, because on the streets you also see kids walking around and them saying those kind of things. I don't know, call me old school or whatever you want to call me. I just feel like decency is still a thing. But yeah, you'll be shocked when you get to London. You will see, like your eyes will see. And another thing with regards to dressing, what also was a shock for me, you would literally see high school students with mid-thigh length skirts going to school. Mid-thigh length, like 12, 13-year-olds wearing that to school. I can understand maybe an adult, 18, 19, 20, but a 12 and a 13, like literally, I'm not exaggerating. I saw this more than twice or thrice, you know, different schools. It was shocking to me, because you can't try that in many Nigerian schools. In fact, let me say all. You can't wear almost a mini skirt in any high school in Nigeria. So for them to have the liberty to do that, and it's not seen as a big deal, it was really a shock for me. I know go lie, I was shocked. I was really shocked. I was shook, in fact. I was shook, you know, because in that kind of society, if you're trying to, you know, bring up your children in a way that is not seeming like the general way, you know, you have to put in a lot of work as a parent, because imagine everybody in their school are wearing mid-length skirts, and you made sure that theirs should be on their knee. You'll probably be laughed at or mocked or bullied or whatever. I don't know, but it was really shocking. God help us. One beautiful thing I also took note of was their policemen and policewomen. It was so interesting to see how polite they are and really nice. You know, how polite and nice they are. So experiences, you know, we're walking around, and my husband was even saying that, oh, the policemen, you can even beckon on them, take pictures with them if you want. But I was a bit shy at that point. I didn't want to do that. I was like, oh really, you could do that? Don't try that with Nigerian army or Nigerian police. You know, they are not smiling at all. They are not smiling. And yes, another interesting thing is how they are really nice. Like I think we passed through a particular protest, and I think a young boy did something. It was so nice how, like, I know that he was definitely wrong, because he was like all moody and stuff, and they were there, you know, like, oh mate, this, that, and like, Nigeria, you will collect. You will take like 1 or 2 rounds of slap first. After you're taking like 1 or 2 rounds, then you can continue from there. Like, it was interesting to really see how nice they are, how polite they are, you know, the security and everything. I was shocked to see, and their police, well dressed, you know, they looked really professional. It was, like, yeah. When you were saying like that's my policeman or that's my policewoman, you know, it was really nice to see. So yeah, this was the few things I noticed though within that 1 week. Who knows, there might be more. Maybe when I finally relocate there, I'll see more things and I will do maybe an updated version of it. Culture shock. So we'll see. So do you live in London? Have you visited the UK before? Please, what are the things that, you know, you were like, wow, things like this, they happen, or you were really shocked to see things like that? Please let me know. Tell me in the comment section. Let's have, you know, a conversation. Then which of the culture shocks can you relate with? You know, let's have a conversation down there, and I pray for you as this is the second half of 2022. The windows of heaven are open over you. Blessings are being poured out on you and your family overwhelmingly. And yes, you are blessed. You are blessed. You're highly favored. Let's talk in the comment section. Till my next video. Bye guys. I love you.